since you've already been so patient on a Sunday night. So this is, as I said in our group, this is one of my best friends, Croydon Wheeler from Down Under. He is in. Are you in Australia today?
No, New Zealand.
New Zealand. And he's been a mentor and a good friend of mine for almost like 10 years now. And we're working together on some projects again. And he was so kind to come in and share some of his brilliance on detoxing. So it works really well because we're a little bit running late, but we can listen to his brilliance and ask some questions and get a lot of awesome value out of this call. So I'll turn it over to you, Croy. Fatima.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Anna. Yeah, so my name's Croydon. That's my wife's account to create the Zoom account. So she's a birth coach, so she does a lot of podcasting on this. So, but anyway, let's get started. Appreciate you guys jumping on. As you can see, it's I'm ahead of you guys. Monday, it's 1:16 p.m. So you guys are already behind me, but the future's looking good, guys. So. All right. Well, let's get started. So I just wanted to, Anna was reached out. And I said I can talk about a little bit more about toxins and the effects that it has in the body. So I'm just gonna I like to keep things super simple as well. I'm just gonna cool. So and I don't want this to be a library where it's just like sit down and don't ask anything. Like if you want to participate, I'd love you to, and I might ask some questions and stuff like that where you can answer as well. But let's start off with like the pure sense of metabolism and how fat is burnt throughout the body. So you have your liver, okay? So you all should know what your liver is, but what does it do? Well, it does a lot of things. Like one, it burns fat, but it also controls your metabolism. It regulates cholesterol levels. It also is your main filtering system as well, okay? And so what your metabolism does in its simple form is it breaks down fat through enzymes and hormones, turns it into energy, or another simple word could be sugar, that is burnt up through muscle, through movement, through exercise, okay? So just think of that as your simple form of your metabolism. Liver burns fat, turns it into energy. That energy is used through movement through the muscle, okay? But over time as well, got to understand that if your liver is backed up through toxins, that has an effect on fat burning, on your metabolism as well. So when your liver gets backed up with a lot of toxins, then your body will choose to filter out toxins first before it filters out fat and other things and uses it for that situation, because your blood pH has to sit around 7.365, right? If it goes north or south of that, remember that's your blood pH. If that goes north or south of that, you're in bad trouble and you're dead basically. So your body will always definitely filter out chemicals and toxins in the body before it focuses on anything else. Okay, so let's talk about that. Well, over time, we are more exposed to toxins than ever before. Okay, so how do we clean up our body and get this liver focusing on burning fat and increasing our metabolism rather than constantly just dealing with toxins? So we have 4 ways that we eliminate toxins out of our body, okay? One is perspiration. So we sweat out toxins first through our largest largest organ on our body. Do you know what your largest organ on your body is?
Your skin.
Very good. Excellent. So the largest organ on our body is our skin. So we perspirate. So we eliminate toxins out of our body. But the challenge is now with our lifestyle is we are more exposed, as I said, to chemicals and toxins than ever before. So what we do with our skin is we put on all these lotions and potions, right? So we put on deodorant that is stopping our natural way of eliminating toxins, right? Because it just blocks up that area. And some people give themselves a deodorant shower and they give it all over the place, right? So what happens is not only do we stop the toxins from coming in, you think about the toxins in your antiperspirant deodorants, there's plenty of them, right? Now, it only takes 10 to 15 minutes for your skin to absorb those toxins okay? And it goes where? In the bloodstream. Where does the bloodstream take it? Any ideas?
The liver.
The liver
Mhm.
to process and filter out and try and find another way to eliminate it, okay? So the whole point of this, guys, if you're replay viewing as well, is not to scare you and freak you out, right? It's going to be okay. But I want you to start thinking about daily things where you can focus on eliminating toxins out of the body and avoid more coming in, to clean out the system, to start focusing on your metabolism running better, especially if you're a woman over 40, and to focus on burning your fat as well, to boost your metabolism. Okay, so what that could be, again, just avoid like chemicals of like moisturizers and toxic makeups. And here, when I'm in Australia, sunscreen is quite popular as well, and also deodorant. So think about more of a natural approach to doing that to avoid more toxins coming in. Okay, we're good on that. We're clear on the first of 4 ways to eliminate toxins: perspiration. Let your skin breathe. That's why, how they, you guys probably have used them at some point or know someone that's used them, but have those foot pads that eliminate toxins, and like you rip them off and they're like toxic black by the end of it. It's because everyone's blocked up other ways, that it's like that is the other area where it starts to eliminate toxins through the feet. Okay. All right. Perspiration. Next one, urination. Okay. That's another way we eliminate toxins. Now, the issue is with urination, we again have all these fluids that that have toxins in it, right? So a lot of coffee, energy drinks, alcohol, all that sort of stuff as well. Okay, so again, just think about even just water. I don't know what your water system's like in Canada or America, wherever you're watching this from, but I know here in New Zealand and even in Australia, they add a lot of fluoride and chlorine in your body and in the water system. Okay, now that's just publicly. There's plenty of other dangerous chemicals in natural water systems that goes into people's homes as well, right? But again, that is a highly toxin through the system that you're constantly drinking. So again, just thinking about filtering out your water, making sure you're drinking good, clean water. Avoid too much caffeine, because again, that's a toxin in the body. Energy drinks aren't like concentrated
Soda.
juices. What's that? Soda?
Uh,
Yep. Yep, soda, all that sort of stuff, right? So again, it's more about just avoiding more coming in. So our kidneys can filter this out as well, and we can start, eliminating more toxins out through urination by avoiding more that unnecessary sort of fluid coming in as well. Okay, so again, I'm not scaring you to give up coffee, to give up alcohol, to all that sort of stuff, but at least start with something. And I think the biggest step would be through your watering system, if you know there's a lot of chlorine and fluoride in there. Okay, cool. Because I mean, if you think about it, what's chlorine designed to do, guys? Do you have an idea of what chlorine's designed to do?
kill bacteria.
Or kill all living organisms. That's what it's designed to do. And what are we? We are a living organism. So think about that as well. Right? I know it's small doses, but again, small doses over years of it starts to have an effect on your metabolism. All right, thumbs up. We're all good. We understand. Cool. Next one is respiration. Okay, so we exhale out toxins, okay, through our breath. So that's why, if you have coffee and, toxic food, then you excrete, not excrete, you exhale out a lot of toxins as well. So what I'm meaning by this is more about thinking about your environment at home, at your workplace, wherever. What do? We put in these, I don't know, again, I'm just going off our culture, but it could be the same in your culture, these air fresheners in our car. Like Anna might even have one in her car now. She doesn't even know. Or plug-in things that we plug into the wall to make the house smell lovely and make our car smell beautiful. But what that is again, is toxins that we're constantly breathing in. Okay. in Canada or North America right now, you're opposite seasons, so it's still pretty chilly and cold where you are, I assume. You've probably got heat pumps, what we call heat pumps, or air conditioners, things like that as well. That again, if you're in a workspace that has that happening, even in the summer months, you're constantly breathing in dirty air. All right. So again, it's just more exposure to more toxins in the environment that you live on a daily basis. Okay, cool. So think about cleaning out the air. Don't put in those plug-in things, like open up the windows, right? Let natural air flow through your system, through your household, in your car. Like, get rid of them. It could be a sign that your car needs a good natural clean, right? So anyway, so that's respiration. It's another way. The last one is excretion through our bowels. Okay, so what happens is, again, you've got so just again through number twos, that's how we eliminate it. So we want to make sure that our lymphatic system, our bowel movements, you should be having, again, I think the science is don't fact check me on this, but I believe you should be having at least 1 to 2 bowel movements per day. Okay, for sure. Now, if you think about your nutrition, if it's highly acidic, and like, I don't want to scare you again, but if I was to put like a toxic mess of our cultural way of eating is a lot of red meat, a lot of dairy, let's just go off those two, right? So like a lot of dairy products. So what happens is, if I was to, let's say I was just to give you a 1 kilo, I think 1 kilo, you guys deal in kilos. I don't know what that's in pounds, but if whatever that is, right? Just imagine like a big
2.2
slab.
pounds.
2.2 pounds. There we go. If I was to give you a big slab of that, of, you call it ground beef, okay? Here in New Zealand, we call that mince. If I was just to put that out in front of you, and this is going to make sense soon, and we put a temperature outside of around 36, 37 degrees Celsius. So Fahrenheit, have no idea, okay? But reason why I'm saying that is because if you're consuming a lot of red meat and dairy products a lot, and you're not having bowel movements, and your body is temperatures 36, 37 degrees, what happens is, if you're not eliminating all that, that is a breeding ground for an absolute toxic mess, right? You think about me putting that outside, that ground beef, in sun temperature of 36, 37 degrees, after a couple of days, I think you can imagine what's sort of hovering around that. There's flies and all that sort of fermentation happening and stuff like that. So that's actually what, if you think about it, could be happening inside your body as well. It's a toxic shitstorm, basically, where disease, dis-ease, and things like to thrive and grow off, because there's no, it's not clean. It's just a dirty mess. So that's where, that's why regular bowel movements are super important as well. Okay, good. So hopefully I've grossed you out and you've already had your dinner, or dinner could be coming up and you're like, I'm just going to go with a glass of water tonight, guys. So there's our 4 ways. Okay, perspiration, urination, respiration, and excretion through the bowels. So over time, that's why, like, when you're in your 20s, it was like, it's all fine. You got high energy levels. Losing weight was never an issue. It's just like, oh, let's just exercise, right? But over time, you're just more exposed, which slows the system down. Now, if your liver's completely backed up, what happens is your lymphatic system takes an effect as well, right? And think of your lymphatic system as like pipes and hoses throughout your body that takes blood and all sorts of waste and all that sort of stuff throughout your body, okay? After your liver getting backed up, your lymphatic system gets backed up as well. Okay, and when there's backed up, that's when you may find that you recover slowly. When you have hard workouts, you've got like these knots in your body, because there's no way for these toxins to flush out. Okay, because again, you've blocked them all up. So that's when, like, workouts, like it's the lactic acid can't flush out, and that's why you hear, like, have a like a hot bath with Epsom salts or something like that, because what that does is opens up your pores of your organs to sort of your skin to flush out the toxins. So it may not stop the soreness after a workout, but it definitely loosens you up. You come out and going, oh, I can go to the toilet again now without getting up like this. Oh, my legs, So that gives you a full exposure to just a quick rundown of the metabolism, how it works, how it can get backed up, but more importantly, look at the lifestyle that you are living and think about, okay, that makes sense. How can I start eliminating more toxins out of my body and avoid more coming in? Now, I haven't even mentioned about the toxic thoughts in your mind. If you are highly strung, highly stressed environment, again, it is cortisol, it is adrenaline. So adrenaline is your short-term hormone. Cortisol is your long-term stress hormone. Okay, so if you're constantly stressed, again, that is just an acidic environment that your body is just having to filtering out these toxins throughout. Okay. So as far as nutrition, again, if you're looking at a pH balance, 0 to 7 is what you would call alkaline, and 7 to 0 is what you'd call acidic. What breaks down acidity is alkalinity, right? So if you think on a pH scale, you think of all dairy, sodas, energy drinks, coffee, all these things, chemicals, they're all on the acidic phase of that scale, right? From 0 to 7. From 7 to 14 is more alkalinity. So things like, if as far as natural minerals that your body should be using is calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Okay, they're your four most highly alkaline minerals, not to mention high leafy greens, green vegetables, all these sort of things as well. So if you're thinking about attacking this as well for nutrition, more of an alkaline sort of based diet will start to focus on, again, cleaning up the system so we can get that liver ramping up again. Because once we clean that out, your metabolism will start to pick up and you'll start to burn fat, because we've got an efficient energy model that is back to how it should be working. Okay. Now, does this happen overnight? No, but you'll start to see some results. So just have that long-term approach as well. Even like just water, like Himalayan rock salt or Celtic salt, just put like a 1/4 teaspoon of that in your water. Okay. And that's great at keeping the fluid in your body. But again, it's just a key mineral of sodium that you can start introducing into your system as well. All right. How was that? That was off the top of my head. I just rambled. So does that make sense, guys?
Yes, it does make sense. And I appreciate it. And you know what, just on that last thing you mentioned about the salt water, Anna put me onto that. I've been doing, I call 2 shots per day. So I have one in the morning because I just do it at home, and I have one at night. And I have noticed in the last 4 months just a difference and how I feel. Not as sluggish. I'm very prone to migraines. My migraines have been reduced, but doing 100%. Those little salt shots definitely help. I'm not gonna lie, I like my wine. I haven't taken a sip while we've been sitting here. And I probably knew I had a glass sitting in the wings, but yeah, I usually have a glass probably every night when I come home at night, but I limit it to 1 or 2 glasses.
Yeah.
But
yeah, of course.
I have to say those salt shots work fantastic, and I recommend it to anybody I can talk to.
Yep, 100%. And that's why it's like even just starting off small as well, because even by doing that, you might even get the runs. Some people by doing that as well, if they're that toxic. So that's why I'm saying start very, very small, because you might have quite a fast elimination process. Just giving you the heads up for those that are going to dive into it.
I always tell people that I'm like, but if you're like me, you're welcoming any colon cleanse you can get. So give her, as long as you're home and safe.
Yeah. But I think it's just big picture as well. For me, it's everything is about lifestyle and just being aware, consciously aware. And if you're strung up again, you're all over the place, you're stressed, then you're not, and everything's go, 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 then you're not going to be more consciously. And that's why in my lifestyle, I've completely eliminated everything, and anything that is just not is like a to-do list, that sort of stuff. Like I've completely eliminated that. And when you do and get on top of things that bring stress to you on a regular basis, it opens you up to more consciously thinking at a higher level, right? And you're having more higher level conversations with people rather than low level stressful conversations and things like that as well. So just be aware of the environment that you're in, and slowly just implement on doing that if you are looking to increase fat burning and your metabolism, increase your energy levels.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I like the get rid of toxins part.
Yeah, I
Totally.
mean, for me, if I was to put someone, like, again, if I've got a more of an understanding of someone's background, and if they come to me looking to lose weight and they're quite fluidy, they're quite puffy, even their skin is quite dry, because if you think about like your skin cells, so your is like the last cells where you absorb those nutrients, right, throughout your body. So if I see someone like that, most cases I would just not even worry about nutrition or anything like that. It's more about, let's just clean out the system and just start eliminating toxins first. Let's get that cleaned up first. And within, you know, the first week of them doing that, it's like 5 pounds down in their first week just from eliminating a lot of fluid and toxins. Because let me tell you this, if you've got a cell that's highly acidic, right, it'll start to stick around that cell. Okay, now what happens is your body will store fluid around that cell as well to protect it, right? Because if you've got more toxins coming in than not enough coming out, like I said, you're going to be out of balance with your blood pH and you're gone. So the body will start to store fluid around that cell to protect it. Okay, now if you've got a cell, a cell with toxins around it and then fluid around that as well, again, this is over time, and then you've got a layer of skin above that, and that is like fluid pushing up against that skin. What do you think that is when you visually look at lumps on your skin from fluid pushing up?
Well, cellulite looks like fat. The cellulite.
Exactly, cellulite. Great answer. Now, why does no one have cellulite on their foreheads or on their shin bones? Why is cellulite always
for fat?
Yeah. The reason why is there's no lymph nodes in those areas. Okay. So for women, I think, again, don't fact check me on this, I'm just throwing some numbers out there. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close, but I think there's around about 280 lymph nodes in women, and men is around about 180. Okay. Now, for men, where do we hold? Have a guess where we hold a lot of our lymph nodes.
Abdomen?
Stomach.
Stomach. Yep, exactly. Right in the linear chain from the bottom of the sternum to the top of the pelvis. So we hold all our lymph nodes in there. So that's why when you see someone with, could be your husband, that has a big, what we call here in Australia, big bear gut. If you were to look at them behind, you'd think they would be fine, right? And then they turn around and it's like, whoa, it's this big bear gut, right? So that's because that's where we hold them. Now for women, more distributed, right? For reproduction, having babies. Okay. So in the arms, right? Hips, behind the knees, hips, butt, thighs, that sort of area, even distribution throughout that body. So that's why you find a lot of that fat gain is in those lymphatic areas. Okay. Now, another thing is, like, when you see someone that's lost a lot of weight, where do you usually notice that they lose the weight from?
In the face.
My boobs.
Boobs, face. Yes. Why? There's no lymph nodes in there, right? So wrists, ankles, there's no lymph nodes. And that's why you see it go in the face with a lot of these, wow, my God, you look so different. It's just they lost a lot in their face and their boobs and, you know, all that sort of those situations where there's no lymph nodes in those areas. Okay. So the stubborn fat, again, that's why toxins out. Again, we have to get rid of all that first before we start getting into that situation. Because if you think about infrared saunas, right, the reason why they are considered the best as far as deep penetration through the layers of skin actually into a cellular level to draw out those toxins, that's why you hear, you know, infrared saunas or infrared light is more popular for addressing cellulite, is because it actually penetrates deeper to draw toxins out through your body. Okay, so that's why, like, yeah, infrared saunas are good as well to let your body sweat out the toxins. Okay, does that make sense? So yeah, fluid, a lot of fluid. So that's why I'm saying if someone comes across as puffy and fluidy, there's a good sign that they're acidic within and they're holding a lot of fluid. So by just cleaning that out, there's a lot of fluid. It's not necessarily fat in the first week of those 5 pounds. It's certainly made up a lot of that fluid that's just eliminated.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That was very informative.
Cool.
Like very simply informative.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to draw a diagram and stuff like that so you could just get a more of a visual, but hopefully I didn't talk too fast. You can understand me that in your head, it was very simple. You can understand and you can take some action steps moving forward on your health. Then rather just focusing on nutrition and exercise, it's like have a good look at your lifestyle and also upbringing as well, like through college and, you know, all that sort of stuff where there's a lot more alcohol and toxicity food and all that sort of stuff that, you know, again, backs up and we're into our late 40s and it's just like, hang on a minute, what I used to do doesn't seem to be happening anymore. And then we throw in some menopause in there and it's like, what's going on? And weight gain's just rapid. So yeah, there you go.
So true.
Well, there you go. I appreciate it. I'll finish there because I know like if they're replay viewing, then yeah, they don't want to be hearing to me all the time.
Well, thank you so much for coming. That was super great and nice and simple and made a lot of sense. It's nice to hear a different perspective and how you break it down. It's awesome things to take away, the 4 pillars to keep top of mind. So thank you for that. And we will put the replay up at some point too.
Yes,
so thank you, ladies, and bearing with me while I had a blonde moment.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Thank you. I really enjoyed this, actually. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for your
we'll
time.
come back again. We'll convince them to come back again.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I appreciate your time. Have an awesome night.
All right.
Yes.
Okay,
all right. Bye.
Bye.